UFC 314 just wrapped up. Volkanovski versus Lopez. This was an amazing card, and I'll be giving you guys my breakdown and analogy of each and every fight on this card. New champs, fraud checks. This fight card had everything. So let's start it off with the main event. Oh yeah, and make sure to subscribe to become a UFC champion. It is actually confirmed. If you subscribe to my channel, you have a 99% of becoming UFC champion. If you don't believe me, hit the subscribe button and let's see your chances go up. And while you're doing that, also like the video, share this to a friend, and comment down your favorite UFC fighter from this card. Mine is obviously Volk, but yeah, I want to hear you guys' takes in the comments, so make sure you guys comment down below. And let's start off with the main event. Alexander Volkanovski wins a unanimous decision against Diego Lopez. A clinic is what you can call this. Volkanovski was just letting the jab all night. First round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round. Volkanovski arguably won a 50-45. But the story of this fight was Volkanovski landing that jab, outstriking Diego Lopez, keeping him on the outside, and just trying not to brawl with him. Yeah, I know in a few occasions Volk was trying to brawl with Diego Lopez. He got hit with the uppercut. There was an exchange where Volkanovski hit an overhand and Diego Lopez hit an uppercut at the same time, which was literally crazy. But Volkanovski wins. Oh my god, that first round was so scary for a Volkanovski fan, because Diego Lopez can literally shut out the lights of Volkanovski. So yeah, but second round, Volk gets dropped by 1-2. Had me on all fours. Literally, I'm not lying, I was on all four of my limbs, crawling to Volk and just pleading for him to not brawl with Diego Lopez. So yeah, Diego Lopez obviously is a dog, and he could probably be a UFC champion if Volk wasn't around. So yeah, and there was so many exchanges where Volk was just piecing up Diego Lopez. I don't see, people were calling it robbery. How the hell are you calling this a robbery? Because Lopez had two moments, him cutting his eye and dropping him. That's two moments of the entire fight. Volkanovski was outstriking him the entire fight. So yeah, and also Volk got cut. Let's talk about that. The cut got cut in his eye, and as he was ducking down, Diego Lopez lands a perfectly timed uppercut and rocks Volkanovski, putting him on the back foot. Diego Lopez starts hunting him down and starts landing head kicks and whatnot. But Volkanovski obviously is a dog and a true champion. Stays composed and just outstrikes Diego Lopez. Even when he got cut on his eye, he was still countering Lopez when Lopez was coming in, landing overhands. But when he was landing those overhands, dude, I was so scared that Diego Lopez was gonna land an uppercut. But in round 4, Diego Lopez had no gas on the feet. Volkanovski tried taking him down, and the takedown of Diego Lopez needs to be studied. Brick wall takedown defense. And yeah, 5th round, Diego Lopez starts screaming at Volkanovski to just come at him and stop backpedaling. He starts screaming, and he wants to brawl in the middle, but Volkanovski's not giving him no chance to brawl and get a win. After a dominant decision, Alexander Volkanovski wins a decision against Diego Lopez. I want to see Volkanovski fight Evloev, and I want to see Diego Lopez fight Yair, maybe in UFC Noche. That will be an amazing fight. I would actually love that fight. They already have beef, so because they're teams or something, I don't even know, but it's a very heated beef with Diego Lopez and Yair Rodriguez, so I would love to see that fight. The co-main event, I got this wrong. I picked Michael Chandler to win by 3rd round KO. Paddy Pimblett wins by 3rd round TKO. First round, boom. Michael Chandler goes and just bouncing on the outside, lands a takedown and controls him on the ground. Basically controls Paddy Pimblett on the ground and starts dragging him and landing ground and pound. Oof, sorry. Paddy Pimblett in the next round almost had a 10-8 in the second round and also in the third round. Almost two 10-8s, literally. Paddy Pimblett takes him down and he reverses position and starts beating the fuck out of Michael Chandler. He starts outstriking Michael Chandler on the feet, which is literally crazy because Paddy Pimblett looked like a basic ass striker. Nothing special on the feet, but managed to get the freaking finish on the ground. He had Michael Chandler in a horrible position, started landing elbows, ground and pound, and Paddy Pimblett is now a top 10 fighter in the UFC in the lightweight division. I still think Moicano beats him, to be honest, because Moicano is a better striker than Michael Chandler, and also he's a better striker than Paddy Pimblett. And I think you can't just take down Moicano because Moicano has good ground and pound, good jiu-jitsu off his back. So I want to see Paddy Pimblett fight Moicano, but obviously now he's not gonna fight anyone behind him, So yeah, who would I want to see Paddy Pimblett fight? Maybe like I want to see him fight Moicano. If he beats Moicano, then give him someone in the top 4. I'm really saying give him someone in the top 4. You can't just throw him straight in there with Justin Gaethje, because that's a dangerous fight. Justin Gaethje would probably knock out Paddy Pimblett. He's better than Michael Chandler. 2-6 Michael Chandler. Not discrediting Paddy's win, but yeah, I picked Michael Chandler by round 3 KO. Got that wrong. Michael Chandler. Who should he fight next? He should just fight fun fights. He should just fight fights that are going to be fun for him, because he's never going to win a UFC belt. So yeah, I don't think Paddy Pimblett beats anyone in the top 7, by the way. Who's in the top 7? There's Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira. Who else? Not Gamrot. I'm probably forgetting. Who's the top 6? I think top 6 is... Who's top? Michael Chandler. Okay, I'm not going to figure this out while I'm making a video, but Paddy Pimblett should fight Moicano. Michael Chandler should just fight fun fights from now on. Never getting a UFC belt. Just low IQ, man. He should just be the same person he was when he fought Charles Oliveira. That is what is going to win him fights, when he's crazy and he's going to just be too much. Now he's patient, and yeah, being patient is kind of good, but when you're getting outstriked 2-47 in the third round, you should start fighting more crazy, Then we have a kind of a boring fight a little bit. We have Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. He loses a decision to Yair Rodriguez, who kind of had an outstriking clinic on him. Dropped him in the third round. Outstruck him. The kicks of... Let me just say something. The kicks of Yair Rodriguez are so amazing. They need to be studied. Yair Rodriguez has amazing kicks. Seriously, he has amazing kicks. Super, super fast kicks. His body kicks looked phenomenal tonight. And Yair is actually such a good win for Volkanovski. Volkanovski's win is just aging way better right now, because you have a guy like Patricio who does have a lot of power, and yeah, maybe you can argue that he does not deserve to be there with Yair. Pitbull doesn't deserve to be there with Yair, but he does have power, and he does have a lot of experience when it comes to the to mixed martial arts. So this isn't a bad win for Yair Rodriguez. Pretty good, decent win. Not like an all-time win or anything, but Yair has proven that he's still a top 5 fighter in the featherweight division. I would love to see him fight Diego Lopez next. Patricio Pitbull, you should fight someone maybe like a Dan Ige. I think maybe him versus Dan Ige would be a good fight. Dan Ige is coming off the Sean Woodson win. We'll talk about that stoppage, by the way, guys. We'll talk about that horrible stoppage, but good fight. And yeah, one of my favorite fights of the night, Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell. So the first round was very, very uneventful. First round was very uneventful. Gene Silva was laughing, you know, just hitting him, jabbing him, some leg kicks. Bryce Mitchell was actually outlanding Gene Silva. Probably won the first round a little bit. I probably gave it to Bryce in the first round, but Gene Silva was playing around. He wasn't even looking at Bryce Mitchell. Could he have finished the fight earlier? Yeah, he was. I think he landed a lead hook to a right hand that dropped Mitchell, and he just tells him to get up. He tells him to get up. Bryce Mitchell attempts a takedown, gets him in a clinch, and Gene Silva finds the ninja choke. Why do they call it a ninja choke? I thought that was a darce. It looked like a darce to me, but he lands a ninja choke, submits Bryce Mitchell in the second round. Gene Silva, man, give this guy someone in the top 5, just to see. Give this guy a Brian Ortega, just to see. I know Brian Ortega is hinting about him moving up, but before you do that, fight Gene Silva, someone that actually knows how to take people down, in Brian Ortega, and has good jiu-jitsu. So I want to see Gene Silva fight Brian Ortega. That would be an amazing fight. If he literally fights Brian Ortega, give this guy a title shot. I don't care, just give him a title shot. But yeah, Bryce Mitchell, Lucas Tracy, brother, what were you thinking about picking Bryce Mitchell, dude? Like, how could anyone pick Bryce Mitchell? So people were saying that he has some sticky grappling, and he can if he gets a hold of Gene Silva, he's gonna stay on him. Gene Silva, when he got taken down in the first round, just stood up like nothing happened. So Gene Silva still has amazing takedown defense. Bryce Mitchell, who don't want to see him fight? Maybe give Bryce Mitchell Ayman Sahabi. Not Ayman Sahabi. Give him that one Moroccan dude. Forgot his name. What the fuck is his name? What's his name? Wait 1 second. What is his name? Not Ayman Zahabi. His name is Yusuf Zalal. Yeah, give him Yusuf Zalal. Give Bryce Mitchell Yusuf Zalal. In a fight that I picked right to, Dominic Reyes knocks out Nikita Krylov. Holy fucking shit. Dominic Reyes is back. The title reign is here. Imagine you beating the greatest fighter of all time, going on a 3-fight KO streak. He got KO'd 3 times in a row, coming off 3 knockout wins. You can arguably give this guy a title shot, maybe. For the way that the UFC's been moving, giving a Khalil Roundtree a title shot, you can give Dominic Reyes a title shot in 2025. Holy fucking shit. Dominic Reyes is back, everyone. Landing that step back right hand and KOing Nikita Krylov, who hasn't been here for years. Dominic Reyes just fought back in December, I think. Amazing fight. Dominic Reyes. Give Dominic Reyes someone in the top 5. Who just lost? Jamal? No, not Jamal. Jamal's years with Khalil Roundtree. Don't give him Yuri because he fought Yuri. Give this guy Nayan Blachowicz. Who's in that top 5? You can give him a Carlos Ulberg. Maybe you can give him a Carlos Ulberg. I don't know. I'm gonna make a video talking about which fights to make. Maybe try to do that. I don't know. Tell me if you guys want to see them in the comments. Then we have this abomination of a stoppage. Sean Woodson was literally trying to get a hold of Dan Ige, and Dan Ige TKOs him, knocks him out. That fucking ref is an idiot, dude. Who stopped that fight? Who's ever stopped that fight? You're a retard. This was closer than a lot of people thought. They couldn't even take each other down. It was literally just a stand-up battle, and Sean Woodson looked good on the feet. Dan Egan looked good on the feet. It looked like Dan Egan was kind of pulling through in the fight, Second round was close. But horrible stoppage. I'm not even gonna talk about that. It just pisses me off. Yamchana versus Verna Sharaboha. Verna wins a unanimous decision, and I picked that. So yeah. Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. Great fight. Amazing fight. A lot of submission attempts from Jim Miller. The guillotines were there for Jim Miller, but Chase Hooper was just looking better on the feet at the end of the day. The grappling was very entertaining from Chase Hooper. But Jim Miller, man, tough for Jim Miller. He wanted to get them 50 wins, but he can't because you're fighting people like Chase Hooper, who's a freaking dog. Who picked Jim Miller? I swear. Whoever picked Jim... Someone picked Jim Miller. I swear to God, someone picked Jim Miller. Who the hell picked Jim Miller in this fight? Good for Chase Hooper. Get this guy someone in the top 15. I think he's deserving of a top 15 fighter. For Jim Miller, you can just keep giving him prospects because he's too good not to be finished. But, you know, he's not, you know, horrible to get knocked out. Darren Elkins versus Julia Rosa. I picked Julia Rosa by first round KO. He got that. Good fight for Julia Rosa. Cedricus Dumas versus Michel Olejczyk. I picked Michel Olejczyk by second round KO. And Cedricus Dumas, I thought Cedricus Dumas was going to do better, to be honest, but Michel Olejczyk beats him by a TKO. You know, nothing really was happening in this fight, but, you know, Michel landed a strike, rocked Cedricus Dumas, and just followed him to the ground and ended up getting him with some ground and pound. For Michel, just give him people like Cedricus Dumas, to be honest. And for Cedricus Dumas, I don't know, man. Fight down, man. Sumderi versus Mitch Raposa. I didn't watch this fight, but Sumderi wins by split decision. I picked him by decision. You know, look at the hell. Like, he outstruck him in the whole entire fight. Mitch Raposa landed a lot of takedowns, though. The takedown defense for Sumderi is very questionable. But yeah. Marco Tulio versus Trishan Gore. I picked Marco Tulio by a second round finish, and he got that. So yeah. Then we got Nora Coronel versus Haley Conan, and I picked her by a decision, and she got it by second round submission. Overall, amazing card. How many fights did I get right? So I got the main event right, co-main wrong, so I'm 1 for 2, 2 for 3. No, wait. 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 2. No, 1 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 2. No, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 3 and 2, 4 and 2, 4 1, 5 1, 6 1, 7. No, 5 2, 6 2, 7 2, 8 2. 9 2, 10 2, 11 2, 12 and 2. I went 12 and 2 in this entire card. Mystic Iman is just here, basically. I'm basically like a god, and now I'm playing. That's kind of crazy, but I actually did pretty well in this card. But yeah, this was my 314 breakdown, analogy, recap, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, if you guys like this type of content, consider subscribing, because subscribing shows that you guys actually like my content, and you can push me through the algorithm, and I can get more people to watch my content. But if you don't like the video, that is fine. You can just go watch Lucas or something. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.